edition of the Mr. Warren Hayes Show. I am Mr. Warren Hayes, and oh, look, would you look at this? I am not alone here this evening within Mr. Warren Hayes Studios. Hell no! No, tonight I am joined. Yes, that's right. I'm about to introduce you. I am here with none other than Mackie, the official bird of the Mr. Warren Hayes Show. How you doing, Mackie? Mackie is actually Little Hayes's bird, my daughter, and she's been asking me for a couple of instances. She's been saying, "Oh, why don't you put Mackie on stream? That'd be great. You know, why don't you record with Mackie? It'd be fantastic. People will love Mackie." Well, as it stands right now, Mackie has no idea how to work the camera. This is ridiculous, bird. Are you kidding me? She's like completely around here. She's a parakeet, very lovely parakeet. Let me turn my microphone around a bit so you can get a good look at her. There you go. Now I sound like crap thanks to you. But this is yes, I know you're nervous. You're nervous. It's fine. This is Mackie, who's going to be hanging out with me for the better part of this live stream. Because I'm doing that again tonight. Had a lot of fun doing it last night for Raw. We're gonna do that again here tonight, this evening. So if you're joining me, if you're popping in, if you're listening to this live as it happens right after Smackdown, because ultimately this is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about Mackie. We're going to be talking about the Smackdown Live episode of October 23rd, 2018. We're going to be doing that. So if you're around and you want to join the conversation in the chat, go right ahead. And if you want more people to join and have a grand old time, well, why don't you tell them to come over? Like, enter Warren's abode here. He's really nervous. Tell them to come and join us by tweeting out the link, putting it in the Facebook, or the whatever other social media apparatus you use. Give us a thumbs up, all that stuff. Share. Sharing is good, and we'll get more people in here. That'd be fantastic if we did. But, if we don't at the same time, it's okay. It's fine, right? I mean, we'll get along just amongst ourselves. It'll be great. Great. So, a few programming notes as usual before we go on. Tomorrow evening is Wednesday night. And these days, when we're talking about Wednesday evenings, Mackie, we're talking about fantastic WWE programming starting at 7 p.m. with 205 Live, right into the Mae Young Classic, which ends at 2200 hours. And what's fantastic is then, once that's done, I head over to FightfulSelect.com to do my NXT 205 Live Mae Young Classic recap show. Wow, okay. I guess she's kind of done having the impression that I'm screaming at her. So that's what I do. I go on FightfulSelect.com and I do that recap show for all those three shows, going over the three best hours, consistently best hours of WWE programming every week. I'm super thrilled to be doing that. Tomorrow's going to be the last evening for the Mae Young Classic, of course. We've got the semifinals leading up into the finals that will be at Evolution this weekend. So the Mae Young Classic tournament coming to an end. Excited to see what we have in store with those last two matches. Should be a lot of fun. But if you want to take advantage of that, if you want to come join old Warren while he's doing it again live, you can come and pop into the chat and have a discussion, have some parlay, maybe a little banter. Who knows? If you want to do that, you have to become a member. You have to sign up to Fightful Select. Fightful Select is the premium service of Fightful.com. Extraordinary, top-notch, premier Combat News Sports website. Covers your pro wrestling, covers your MMA, covers your boxing. All in that wonderful site there. And you can, if you go to FightfulWrestling.com, you get all the wrestling news, just exclusive, all nicely packaged, with a little bow kind of thing, for wrestling news, exclusively for wrestling news. And then on top of that, you have Fightful Select, which is the subscription service where you get tons more wrestling related content. Podcasts aplenty. We're just talking podcasts, right, Mackie? We got what we have. We have the Sean Ross Sapp does a weekly podcast called The Weekender. Reviews all non-WWE programming for the week. Talks about Lucha Underground, Impact, NWA, Ring of Honor, New Japan. Goes over also Being the Elite, 10 Pounds of Gold. Talks about he goes over the injury list, injury reports. He covers a whole bunch of stuff. He does that every week. There's Q&A sessions as well. There's retro pay-per-view podcasts that Sean and I do. We just recorded 2 just a couple of days ago, last Friday. It's going to be fantastic. Lots of surprises on that end coming up. I have dark match commentaries. You get news previews, a few exclusives for members. Go check it out. FightfulSelect.com. Look at all the tiers. Look at all the goodies you can get. You can get a bunch of goodies, even on top of the podcasts and all the extra content. You can get like stickers and t-shirts, masks of Sean Ross Sapp. Who doesn't want that? You can pretend that you're Sean Ross Sapp for a day. Why not? Well, go check that out. So that's how you're going. That's what I'm doing tomorrow evening, as I do every Wednesday. So if you want to come join me, feel free. But you have to become a member first. Starts at $5. $5, Mikey. Can you believe it? I barely can. And then on Thursday, I am going to be sitting down with Harmony. Harmony is a wrestling reporter. Not a reporter. She writes. She's a columnist. There you go. Wrestling columnist, podcaster, writer extraordinaire. She covers women's wrestling over at the Daily DDT over on the Fan-Sided Network. And she also has her own podcast called Head Over Heels, and that's a podcast about Glow, which is cool. She's going to be joining me on Thursday, and we are going to be doing Evolution predictions, because that's coming up this weekend. And we're going to have a prediction show together. It's going to be really cool. Harmony has a lot of opinions on how WWE is handling or has handled the build-up to Evolution, but not only the build-up to Evolution, but women's wrestling in general. So it's going to be a blast to have her on Thursday. So that's going to be cool. Come back then. Your week with Warren does not end tonight, folks. It stretches on. It goes on fantastically. Someone asked me on the Twitter thing if I was going to be doing a prediction show for Crown Jewel, because I like to do me some prediction shows. They're a lot of fun. And I will, unless considering WWE doesn't cancel the show, which I don't think they're going to do. But if I do go ahead and make a prediction show, it will be because WWE has decided to pull out of Saudi Arabia. I'm not going to give this show any more coverage than it deserves, to be perfectly frank. If it stays around in Saudi Arabia, so that's how I'm going to deal with the situation if the status quo is maintained. Voila! But folks, Folks, there is something that is never very status quo. There is something that is always very exciting, Mackie, that I know Mackie loves. It's her favorite segment. Always gets her excited. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Bold Predictions! You okay there, Mackie? I don't think she's going to want to do this with me anymore. Let go of my headset. God damn it. Bold Predictions. Every Raw, every Smackdown during the day, I go to Twitter and I ask my timeline and say, hit me with your boldest predictions for the show tonight. And then I pull out a few for the show, put them on display here, put them on blast, like the kids say, so that we can all enjoy a good moment talking about bold predictions. Let's go right ahead. See, this is dumb. I don't know. That's annoying, is what that is. There we go. We're going to start with Mags and Bags. Again. Good friend of the show. Mags and Bags says, Big Show, this is his bold prediction, Big Show, to the shock of many, turns on the bar and joins Biggie, Kofi, and Xavier in forming the Big Day. Well, pretty bold, but, when you think about it, not when you think about it. Well, yeah, when you do think about it, when you just take a second to put some brain processing into the brain unit. Big E actually referenced the fact that Big Show's been flipping heel and face back and forth for years now. So would it have been that bold? Is it that bold a prediction? Yeah, kind of. But, still plausible in the context for Big Show this week to just go around and flip back and nope, I am back to being a baby face. Yes, Mackie, I know you like Big Show as a baby face. I know you prefer. Red State Democrat jumps in and says, Apollo Crews has been sent up to Smackdown Live where he challenges Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. title and new. That's pretty bold. That would have been something unique, something out of the ordinary. But then who would SmackDown have traded to Raw then? That's a big question you could have asked yourself there as well. Because they still have to trade. I think it's implicit. That Big Show was traded for Tamina. Big Show all of a sudden shows up on SmackDown. You're like, what? And then all of a sudden Tamina ends up on Raw and you're like, what? I think it makes sense. Good bold prediction. Blaine says we get a Blue Chew plug from Corey Graves. That's pretty bold. I think right there. You okay there, Mackie? Mackie just took off. I think she'll be fine. I might keep an eye on her a little bit. You all right there, bud? All right. So yeah, Blue Chew promo from Corey Graves. That's pretty bold. Bold. And finally today, Roger Renman gives us the following bold prediction. Samoa Joe attacks Daniel Bryan backstage and sends him to the hospital. Challenges AJ Styles for Crown Jewel. Rusev and Aiden hug it out after their match. That's... All right, come here, bird. Come on over. This may turn out to not... This may turn out to be not a super good idea to have the bird hanging around. You got to be good now. You just got to chill out. You've interrupted my bold predictions a couple of times here. But those were the bold predictions. Thank you, everyone, as always, for being so bold. So very, very bold. I appreciate it. But now we are going to go into something that I appreciate a little less. That is tonight's edition of SmackDown. It was a weird one, wasn't it? It was an odd one. It was, I wasn't quite sure how to call it tonight, so, I started brainstorming on the old Warren board. It's not a whiteboard, it's a Warren board. Mother always said branding is important. We need to talk about. I wasn't sure if we should be talking about Smack Dull or Smack Dumb. I think Smack Dumb sort of rolls off the tongue better. Just stick with Smackdown, but you could also see like Smackdown as in, oh, I'm depressed after tonight's edition. I mean, I may be slightly exaggerating, but it wasn't a very exciting edition of Raw or SmackDown Live. And I'm not even trying to compare with what happened last night on Raw, because the sheer emotional baggage that accompanied the show yesterday could not realistically be reproduced tonight unless another superstar came out and announced that he or she was ill and had to take some time off, which then would have been ridiculous. I know, Mackie, that would have been completely absurd. But even so, and I'm not even trying to compare the shows. I'm not even trying to say, well, Raw did this, and right, and SmackDown. You can't, in the context this week, it's very difficult to do that. SmackDown tonight was just there. It was very dull. It was kind of tedious at times. It wasn't a great show. It was not a great show tonight. Let's just go in here. All right, there we go. So we have the New Day coming out to begin the proceedings. They hit the ring. Xavier and Kofi and Big E all have their mics. They say they were cheated and defeated for their tag team titles last week. They get it, the Bar are competitors, but they have to do what they had to do what they have to do to win. Fine, they get that. But the thing that they don't understand, that they have trouble congealing in their brains, they don't understand, is the Big Show. And I kind of like that because it was all pretty much our feeling last week. It all just came across as so bloody random. Him coming out in the first place, just to begin with, coming out to the ring and then attacking the New Day. It just all felt very rapidly put together. And Big E, this is when Big E says that this goof, talking about the Big Day, this goof flips back and forth more often than a flapjack. And I like this. I like the little self-referential, fourth wall breaking references sometimes. Just little nudges to the audience. Yeah, as in, we do read what you guys post about on Twitter. Even the shit posts. We read it all. Kofi says that he wants payback tonight. So the Bar comes out, and they're followed by the Big Show. Basically now the Bar, if you want to call it the Big Bar or the Show Bar. Show Bar? Not bad. So basically now the Show Bar, as they come to the ring, they essentially now have 3 theme songs combined into one, right? That's basically what they do now. They have Cesaro's and Sheamus's and Big Show. They should just stick with the Cesaro Sheamus combo at this point. Not try to add on the whoa. It just feels so out of place. And it's overkill, really. And it's grown on me, the Cesaro Sheamus combo as well. I don't think even if Sheamus came out to do his thing all by himself, if his music just hit, his exclusive music, it'd feel weird at this stage. Anyway, so Kofi wants to go at it, and Sheamus fakes out that he's going to start, leaves Cesaro take his spot, but Cesaro fakes out as well, right, Mackie? A lot of faking out here. And it's Show who starts off. So the biggest guy versus the smallest guy. Show's in control. He's chopping Kofi, but he could be chopping coffee as well. I don't know how, if I were big like him, and let's say I went to my local coffee shop and I got a bag of coffee beans from one of my favorite roasters, and I was big like Big Show, man, I'd chop my coffee. I'd just grind it down myself, just put it in my hand, just keep slapping it like that, right? Maggie, don't fly off. Stay here. Especially when I'm saying nonsense. It's time you have to stay here. Yeah, I know. Stay here. No, don't fly off. Stay here. Why don't you come on this side then? There you go. See a different view. Woo. And just by the time that I brought her over on this side, she took the time to have a little poop on my forearm. Birds. So basically, like I said, show's in control. He's throwing Kofi across the ring. Chokeslams Kofi 3 times, and the New Day and the Bar hit the ring. Ref throws out the match. The heels get the upper hand. Show chokeslams Big E, which is not unimpressive. And WMD's Xavier Woods. I am not pro punch as a finisher. Never have been. Wouldn't want to say never will be, but never have been. So yeah, so basically let's make Big Show look really, really strong. And I mean, Kofi was doing a great job. I don't know why they felt the need to throw this match out. They really just could have had Show dismantle Kofi, get the win. I really don't know why they felt the obligation to bring this to a non-decision. Felt weird. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan faced off against the Usos after a video package that recapped what happened. Well, that recapped Roman's announcement from last night on Raw, and I mean the video package was just fantastic, wasn't it? It was just so good. It was really, really, really good. Got the feelings all jumbled up again. Good job, WWE. That was some spectacular stuff as usual. I mean, they rarely mess up. Their graphics department, their media department, rarely do they miss on these videos. So Styles and Bryan then versus the Usos. It's a rematch from last week where the Usos got the win over over AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. Jimmy and Bryan start this one off. Daniel Bryan runs the ropes, knocks Jay to the outside. Jimmy eats a drop kick from AJ, and then both Styles and Bryan hit double planchas onto the outside to both Usos who are on the outside. Back from commercial, the Usos are in control. Jimmy and Bryan hit tandem cross body blocks on each other, so that knocks them down. But Bryan gets the hot tag to Styles. Styles clears everyone out, gets the calf crusher on Jay. Jimmy breaks it up. Styles goes for the phenomenal forearm on Jay, but he dodges. AJ has enough presence of mind to not follow through on the move. Lands on his feet because he was about to clock Daniel Bryan across the face. Good job there, champ. But then he accidentally Pele kicks him. Then I think it's Jimmy who goes up to the top rope. I'm not sure. I think it's Jimmy. Goes up to the top rope for the big splash, doing Roman's Superman punch maneuver. So we'll call it the Superman splash for tonight, shall we? Nice little homage to their relative. Good job. The Usos win in it was fine. I mean, again, this is pretty much the story of tonight's SmackDown. Is there's nothing. Well, no, I wouldn't say there's nothing egregious that happened on the card, but we'll get to that. But I mean, there's a lot of on the show, just stuff happening that has no consequence, that didn't advance really anything, that just another testament to this idea that WWE Creative has about advancing stories, or at least that they're able to give us the illusion, produce the illusion that they're advancing stories, when in fact they're just at the same point. We end up being at the same point as we were last week, which is just basically last week Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles sort of messed each other up. Then we punched each other. Then we come back over to this weekend. Lo and behold, it happened again. I mean, it doesn't progress anything really. We're still at the same spot that we were last week. Nothing new about it. Backstage, we have Charlie Caruso, who is trying to stir the pot. She runs into AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, and she goes up to AJ, and she says, "Look, I'm sure that it was an accident what Daniel Bryan just did, but what do you think, AJ? Do you think this was an accident?" I'm like, Charlie, Jesus Christ, what the hell are you trying to do? Obviously, it was an accident. You're trying to, whoa, come here, bird. There you go, back over into position. Basically, I guess Charlie has some money on this match, and she's trying to get AJ. She's trying to get under AJ's skin. I think that's basically what was going on here. But no, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles says, no, I'm sure this was an accident. I respect Daniel Bryan. I'm sure this was an accident. Daniel Bryan says, "Oh yes, I have nothing but respect for AJ Styles. I have an infinite amount of respect for AJ Styles. In fact, so much so that I know that my move last week was an accident." And then AJ goes, "What are you talking about? What are you insinuating?" "Oh, nothing." And then he starts doing this. Your nose is getting longer. Your nose is getting longer, AJ. Are they really going to do Pinocchio references? Is that what we're doing? And then they start pulling this. You've got two of the best workers, arguably in the world right now, in your company, heading into a main event, or at least a big match, into a maligned event card. The very least you could do at this point is at least book this match properly, instead of having them sit around and going, I mean, for real, let's have a moment where we're talking. We'll have some real talk here. Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles is a legit dream match. This is something that 18 months ago we never thought we'd see. But we have it. It's being delivered to us. And yes, they're both baby faces. They're doing the respect thing. That's fine. And I'm okay with that. But there's still proper ways to build legit tension and gravitas to this match, which is for the WWE title, the title that has the lineage, other than referencing Pinocchio in a supposedly backhanded way to accuse the other guy of lying. It hurts. It hurts. Hurts. This is probably the segment I enjoyed the most of the night was Charlotte's Charlotte's speech at the performance center towards all the ladies, and everyone's there. I mildly popped when I saw Mia Yim there. That was nice, wasn't it? Just to see her standing there. That felt, to me, that was cool. Can't help but think that Mia Yim saw that as a victory. I felt good about that. Felt good. See a whole bunch of faces from the Mae Young Classic were there too. All the PC signees are there. So she does this speech, where she's giving a pep talk, and she's saying, everything, this business is built on respect for yourself, respect for others, and then of course, Becky Lynch arrives. Now we know they're going to end up fighting because they talked about it on social media this weekend. They did a thing about it where Becky Lynch attacked Charlotte Flair. But what was really cool here is that when Becky arrived, she said, she was basically saying, don't make friends with anyone because they'll just hold you back. And Becky keeps talking more smack. They end up brawling, and they get pulled apart by the trainees, and then eventually Becky Lynch walks away. All right, two things here. First of all, let's go into the simple thing, or the really funny thing. I think what I liked the most about this segment, like really, really the thing that just made it for me, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when they start brawling, like in the back, I think it's Jessamine Duke, one of the UFC ladies, one of the 4 horsewomen of UFC, right? She's sort of standing in the back, and she's got a big smirk on her face. And while everyone's jumping in to sort of separate the ladies, she's just in the back, and she's having a grand old time looking at this. And so what I'm thinking is, did they just plant a seed here? Are they forwarding, maybe not planting a seed, but subtly forwarding this anticipated match of the 4 horsewomen of NXT or WWE now versus the 4 horsewomen of UFC by just having the UFC alumni just being there and like, beat the piss out of each other. See if I care. I'm enjoying this. That would be that would have been a really nice touch if they did that. If they were told, because I don't remember seeing Shayna, and so I don't know if they told the others not to get involved. But I see Jessamine Duke with a big smile, but not a smile like, oh, this is goofy shit. Playing the character, like being smug about it. I like that. The second thing is, look, how can you not be excited to see Charlotte and Becky Lynch at this point at Evolution? I'm for all of this, but you have to, at this point, I think you have to come to grips with the fact that WWE wants you to boo Becky Lynch, because it seems to me when she started, when she arrived, she cut off Charlotte during her speech or during the question period. She said to someone, I don't know what you're all listening to her, why you're all listening to her. Anyway, none of you are going to make it. The champ is here. Very, very, again, very super cocky heel things that really make me wonder if she, that really make me wonder if they truly do perceive Becky Lynch as a as a tweener or like this, you know, this character, this hard nose, I've changed kind of baby face, you know, harsh, or if they just perceive her as a heel. And again, here, they're having her do some very, very heel stuff. I don't get it. I really do think that they are continuing to want Becky Lynch to be a baby face, a heel, excuse me. They're keeping down that path and pushing. But man, no one's buying it. Still not buying it. Rusev versus Aiden English. Aiden comes to the ring, sings about killing Rusev's World Cup dreams. You know, the WWE World Cup of the world to determine the best world person of the cup, WWE world. That one. So he says he sings about that, and he does that line that he pulled. Was it last week or the week before? Where he says, where he says, Lana, why settle for a short Rusev day when you can have a long Aiden night? Anyway, the bell rings and Rusev goes right after him on the outside. English gets in control in the ring, hits a neck breaker, stomps Rusev in the corner. Then he goes over and he points to Lana and he says, "This is your fault." She throws a shoe at Aiden that allows Rusev to get the Machka kick. Locks in the accolade. Tap, tap, tap. Commentary puts over that, well, good try, Aiden, to have attempted to get under Rusev's skin, make him tap, and not make him tap, but make him try to humiliate him. But this is over now. They're really putting over the fact that this feud is over, and what a shame! What a shame that they break up Rusev Day, and this is the best that they can do. Quite a shame. I have a bird flying quite a ways away here. Give me just a quick second. I'm just gonna go grab the bird. I'm telling you, bird, this is the last time you're coming into a recording. You're a bit of a pain. No more Mackie for you. Not until you can behave. It's enough out of you. The Miz is in the ring now, doing Miz TV. He recaps the highlights of SmackDown 1000, Mackie. He's talking about Becky Lynch cutting down Edge on his own show. Talking about him defeating Rusev in record time. Then he talks about the return of Rey Mysterio, who just happens to be his guest. So he invites Mysterio to the ring. Miz is curious as to why he's back. Mysterio begins to answer, says it's good to be home, but Miz cuts him off and says, no, wait. That wasn't a question. It was more of a statement, You're here to show that the little man can achieve anything. That no matter what your size, you can do great things. And I'm like, oh my God. There really still is a thing in WWE in regards to guys with smaller stature. Sure. They're more credible. You can buy them now as better competitors, that can hang with the big boys. But there's still this notion, come over here, you. But there's still this notion that they're small, that they're not as big as the big guys, and we still have to point out their size. We have to make sure, right? And we make a thing about the fact that the small guys, they're small, right? Finn Balor, right? He's a small guy. Rey Mysterio, he's a small guy. And what's ridiculous here is that Rey Mysterio is a freaking legend. And that's what you do? You start pushing on his on his size? Yes, that was his thing back when he was in WWE in his initial run. That was his thing. He was the small guy who overcame perceptions to win the world title. That was his thing. But now he's a certified legend in the business. It's not only stupid, but it's disrespectful to the legacy that he's created and what he's representing, what he represents for WWE here. And I get it. Miz is a heel and he's got to pull out that stuff. But why doesn't he go after the fact that, why doesn't he, instead of challenging his size, challenge his skill? You know, Ray, you haven't been here in X many years. And Miz sort of touched on that, saying, you know, we're not in the 90s anymore. Well, it's not that far back. We don't have to go back to the 90s. Talking about underdog stories and all that. But you don't have to go that far back. But, you know, you can say, you know, times have changed. You're not so special anymore. You know, there's a lot of underdogs now. You were up against, you know, super roided freaks. Don't say that, Miz. But you were up against these huge giants that you had to overcome. Now, well, you know, you got dudes of all shapes and sizes. What makes you special, Ray? Mysterio could just answer him and say, you know, well, I'm Rey Mysterio Jr. And the Junior. What happened to the Junior? I like the Junior. Rey Mysterio has always been Junior to me. He's not senior. He's not the original Rey Mysterio. There is a Rey Mysterio out there, a senior one. Now he's the... Anyway, I'm going over. I'm losing myself a little bit, but the point remains. And it's dumb that the best they can deliver for their heels in these situations is always about how small they are. And I am so sick of that junk. I really, really am. Anyway, Miz starts putting himself over, of course, says, I'm the star of the show, the star of this network. I will win my bracket at Crown Jewel, and I will win Crown Jewel, the World Cup of WWE World Cup Wrestling of the best in the world, proving that I am the best in the world. And by the way, no, wait, that's for later. And Ray says, well, I'm so, you know, so basically, Miz, I hope that doesn't disappoint you. And Ray says, yeah, I am disappointed. I'm disappointed because I thought I was booked on Truth TV. Miz didn't quite like that. And Ray basically gets all antsy and then says, well, then why don't we have a match together? Miz, right? Mackie, why didn't he have a match with Miz? Why not? So they had their match. The Miz versus Rey Mysterio Jr. This wasn't a bad match. Again, this was actually pretty fun. Miz keeping up with Ray was cool. Miz hits a Hurricane Run at first. Ray with his front face baseball slide between the under the bottom rope, I should say, to the outside. Just smooth, just so smooth. It's the kind of smoothness that we expect out of Rey Mysterio Jr. Isn't that what you expect from Rey Mysterio Jr.? Come up on. Why don't you get on my hat? Get on my hat. That'll keep her busy for a while. Crossbody block from the top by Ray, covers, but Miz kicks out at 2. Miz dodges a splash, and Ray eats the corner. He's in control, slows everything down. Ray battles back, misses the 619, and in retaliation, Miz gets a nice DDT. That was a nice, quick, sharp little sequence between Miz and Ray here. Miz covers after the DDT, but only gets dos. He goes for the yes kicks, the world famous it kicks, depending on who you talk to. Mysterio dodges the last kick, rolls through, and eats a boot for his troubles. We get some top rope shenanigans. Super Skull crushing finale is reversed into a sunset flip by Ray. Ray gets the seated senton. He hits a big kick to Miz's head. That looked like it rattled. Miz kills the momentum with a neck breaker, covers, goes for 2. He sets Ray up for an Alabama slam, but who reverses it into a Hurricane Rana. Miz falls into the ropes, eats the 619, top rope diving splash, the dime drop the dime, drive the dime down, darling. And Rey Mysterio gets the win, leading into the World Cup of WWE Wrestling, best in the world of WWE. All right, now, so here comes next down the parade of stuff that happened tonight on WWE. Here's the most egregious and stupidest segment of the evening, where we were supposed to get Naomi and Asuka versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. But instead, golly gee willikers, all the ladies who are not Charlotte and Becky, all the SmackDown women's roster comes down to the ring. Iconics, Lana, Zelina Vega, they're all there. They all come to the ring and they all start acting like it's a battle royal. Now they do this, thankfully. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I'm glad that they booked all the SmackDown women here to remind us of the rules of a battle royal. You know, because I'm an actual goldfish. So this is helpful. Thank you, WWE, for doing this. It was great that you could show me once again to make sure I understand at this point in my life, I fully understand the rules of a battle royal. So thank you for that demonstration. Thank you. Thank you so very much. You know, it's good. It's good because as an audience, as a wrestling audience, we do have the attention span of a gnat, right? We just like, look at that shiny thing over there. We're crows, basically. Ravens, looking at shiny things. And then on to the next shiny thing, as we forget the other shiny thing. So it's good that WWE does this. Remind us how a battle royal works. Over the top rope, right? That's right. That was it. Over the top rope elimination. Right. And it's every woman for herself. No alliances. No teams. Always good to know. Good details. Seriously, this was pitiful. Asuka stands tall here, which sort of leads me to believe that she's not going to win the Battle Royal. This is dumb. And here's the dumber thing. I don't want to talk too much about this because I want to save some material for my prediction show that is happening Thursday with women's wrestling writer Harmony. I think this is stupid. The Battle Royal is also stupid, I should say, because they're giving the winner gets a shot at the women's title, the SmackDown women or whichever title, and they're throwing in legends in here: Tori Wilson, Molly Holly, Kelly Kelly. I don't know why. It hurts my head to think about it. We'll talk more about this on Thursday. Hope you tune in. Then out of nowhere, Shane McMahon arrives. He's looking dapper, mind you. But I'm a little shocked to see old Shane O'Mac here. Not quite sure what he's coming around here to do. Then it becomes very, very clear. He puts over Evolution. But then he does something a little a la Kurt Angle from Raw last night. He starts putting over the roster of guys who's going to be in the WWE World Cup of WWE wrestling of the world. And as he's doing that, there are CM Punk chants in the audience, which he acknowledges by saying, "Oh, I don't think he's available. I don't think he's in the tournament." And you shouldn't have done that, Shane. You shouldn't have acknowledged the CM Punk chants. How long has it been on a WWE show? How long has it been since we last heard a CM Punk chant? Hello, Bird. How long has it been? It's been a while. It's been a while, Mackie. And now, the fact that Shane decides to acknowledge it, well, that's just gonna ignite the flames, add some fuel to the flames. I was gonna say add some fire to the fuel, but it could add some fire to the fuel as well. That makes it super dangerous, Mackie. Yep. Better go for some protection. Mackie, stay around here. Anyway, so Shane, good old Shane O'Mac, Shane Ramo, basically says, puts over the fact that the World Cup is the best thing in the world, and that's, whoever wins will have the accolade of being the absolute best in the world. So I'm wondering, what the hell are the world titles for? What the hell is the Universal title for? What the hell is the WWE title for? Aren't those hallmarks that you are the best in the world? Or is it just like the best in the company? But you know as well as I know, folks, that the World Cup, WWE World Cup, is going to be defended and awarded just this one time, and we're never going to see it again, like Braun Strowman's greatest Royal Rumble title strap that he won and his trophy. Never going to see those things again. That's done. Might see the World Cup next week or the week after that, but it's just not going to happen. So that leads us into our main event of Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy. I actually enjoyed this match mostly for Orton. I thought Orton was really solid throughout the match, and not just in his in-ring work, but his character work as well was really, really fantastic. Hardy early on, though, hits a reverse heel kick that barely connects on Randy Orton. Orton gets back in control, beats Hardy up on the outside. He drives his Jeff's head, the back of his head, really viciously into the steel steps 3 times. But the gesture and the way, the movement, how Jeff's head snaps back or back forward from the impact was kind of scary. He rolls Jeff back in the ring, covers, only gets 2. He keeps the pressure on Hardy, hits a standing dropkick, goes for another cover, only for 2. Top rope shenanigans, and Hardy gets into a tree of woe. Orton stomps him right in the midsection. Then he rolls to the outside and does the earlobe spot again. And, well, to be honest, I was kind of disappointed that he did it. There was no reason to bring it back. I was happy that they didn't do it again at. I was happy that they didn't do it again at Hell in a Cell. It really felt special and was this one-time thing. So that made me happy. But now he did it again. And he tried to do it again later on in the match, and that sort of it sort of takes away how special it felt in that extreme moment where we were like, no, ew. And I was like, oh, he's doing it again. I don't think it was a good call. It wasn't necessary. He rams, Orton does. He rams Hardy's head into the commentary desk, then backslams him onto the table. Jeff Hardy's bumping like a maniac for this match. But wait, there's more. Once they're back in the ring, Hardy battles back, hits his inverted atomic drop, his leg drop, low drop kick, signature stuff, covers for 2. Hits the Whisper in the Wind, covers for 2. That move, the Whisper in the Wind, it misses not that it misses, but it doesn't look like a full impact move 75% of the time. You remember that brief moment where Jeff Hardy was fighting Jinder Mahal a few months ago? Mahal could not take it properly. It was weird. It was that Greatest Royal Rumble, I think that was the most. Yeah, I think that's where it was. Where the Whisper in the Wind was just completely whiffed. But it's a weird move. It doesn't look good. Hardy goes for a twist of fate, hits the twist of fate, goes up top for the swanton, but Orton rolls out of the ring. Then Hardy, for some reason, decides it's a good idea for this throwaway main event on SmackDown Live that advances nothing in any story he could be invested in. Jeff Hardy thinks it's a really good idea to take a running swanton off the apron and to the floor. I'm like, Jesus Christ, why is he doing this? There's no real reason for him to be pulling these kind of bumps in this match that is just going to be completely forgotten, that advances nothing. They get back in the ring and Orton avoids a twist of fate to hit the RKO and get the win. Look, the main problem with SmackDown tonight was that everything felt very, very ordinary. And it probably made things like the Women's Royal Rumble feel worse than they actually were, because of all the bullshit that was going on around it. You okay there, Mackie? Yeah, she's right there. So it oftentimes you'll hear, because the in-ring action, Orton and Hardy was fine. I thought Orton did a great job. I don't understand why Jeff was bumping so hard. There was no reason for him to be doing that. Then not at least on a match like this. Miz and Ray was perfectly okay. Miz actually worked really, really well with Rey Mysterio, and I'm, kind of feel like, give us more. They probably have a good one stored up in there for us. But man, what a dull episode. And I don't think it's not even like bad. It's just dull. And I think that's a more egregious offense than doing something bad. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Moreover, come find me on Twitter at Mr. Warren Hayes. If you're watching this for the very first time, maybe you don't know that I have a YouTube channel. You can find me at tinyurl.com/Mr. Warren Hayes. Go do that. Come join me on FightfulSelect.com tomorrow evening. Become a member. Come have a great time with yours truly. Not only that, come back here on Thursday at tinyurl.com/Mr. Warren Hayes. Evolution Prediction Show with my pal Harmony. It'll be fun. We're going to have a good time. And I'll be damned, I am not bringing that bird back again. So there you have it, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a good time. Doing this is always the reward of watching WWE. Sometimes it's more fun. Sometimes you get shows like tonight. But you know what? We'll bounce back and everything will be fantastic because we're tough people. I'm sorry. signing out now. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.